All right, Assisted Living fans, we are back. Season 2, Episode 9, Who Are You to Judge? Solid 8 out of 10. I thought this was a very decent episode. Didn't stray away too far from the norm. And we had some great character moments, mainly on Reggie, aka Reginald. Or should I say that the other way around? But regardless, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe as we get closer, hopefully, to 200,000 subscribers. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. So if I were to just briefly sum up the episode, Jeremy and Brown are at each other's throats over a bad car sale. And on the other side of the episode, Anastasia is worried due to the fact that Reginald is showing signs of retirement grief. Because of the fact that for, I think, 3 or 4 times in the past couple of weeks, he has gotten dressed and announced that he's ready to go to work before he remembers, oh yeah, I'm retired. So Leah and Anastasia chat about it and what they can do to hopefully turn things around. Jeremy actually tells Brown that, well, the car was working just fine, but barely a week into owning it, I'm hearing a bunch of weird noises, and Brown gives the black people remedy. I think I saw this video or meme about how black people always have that one thing they own that only they know how to work. It's like, hey, no. You got to hold the remote this way towards the TV. You got to turn it to the side. Or, nah, this controller, you got to, sit in your chair this kind of way for it to work properly. Or, in this case, Brown's like, no, you can't have the windshield wipers on at the same time as your lights, or, it's going to make a noise and whatnot. So basically, the car is a hunk of junk. And, I had it for 20 years. I don't know what you've been doing wrong with it, but you messed it up. And then Vinny is disappointed because, well, even though this line wasn't said exactly, I was sure somebody would have said, I can't believe you bought a car from that clown Brown. I don't know why, but that line would have been funny. So, given the fact that a new car wouldn't have been necessary, a brand new one, because Philip is about to start driving soon. Because I believe, what was it? A couple episodes ago, he got his permit, I believe his learner's permit, driving Miss Crazy. All right, so Effie and Vinny are talking to Anastasia about what they can do to help Reginald. And, Effie is smacking on some oxtails and Vinny's about to go at him. But Reggie comes in and they try to explore hobbies in order to help him relax. You're retired. What do you do outside of work? I can kind of relate to that because my life mainly revolves around work. If it isn't eBay, it's YouTube. What do you do for fun? Work. Because even before this whole I'm trying to get a house thing, that's literally been my life. Self-employment, run my own businesses. I got to do it. But yeah, sometimes you need to unwind and realize you can't work 24/7 or you'll burn yourself out. And you need to have recreational activities outside of the workspace. And I mean, he even goes into detail about, oh yeah, reading, books on law and, journaling about this and that. But it's like, no. How about cooking? Nope, can't do that because of his reaction to certain ingredients. Examining plants? Nope, because hay fever. And Vinny tries to take a stab at it by getting him to dress just like him and chilling in a chair just to relax. And look, I know this is an odd reference, but Teen Titans Go, one of the early episodes, do relax when the whole team is trying to get Robin to chill out. This reminded me of that. A guy who is high-strung, used to working. And it's not like, sure, Reggie might come across as a workaholic, but if you've worked, for decades, one after another, it's hard to flip the switch off. Like, even if you are, okay, I'm retired, I don't have to work anymore, you will find yourself getting ready for work. And I know for me, like, I want to say a few months ago, I'm coming up, next week, next Tuesday, marks 4 years since I quit my call center job to do this YouTube thing full time. I had a freaking nightmare a few months ago about being late for work. And I'm like, oh, wait, never mind. I don't do that no more. So I can relate to that. Obviously, it's a heck of a lot different for somebody who's retired because, well, they have decades of experience there. All right, so Vinny's plans on how to just chill, relax doesn't work. So he gets something to leave. Brown's like, what, you trying to start a rap group? So him and Jeremy go back and forth again because him and Leah got in the car, cranked it, and it just filled up with smoke. So Jeremy threatens to sue if Brown doesn't get the money back, but Leah's trying to, put out the fire, no pun intended, because of the fact that Brown's like, defamation of character, I'm going to sue you for that too. So then Anastasia has a great idea. You know what? I'll get Reginald to help out as a makeshift judge in our makeshift courtroom because of the fact that, well, we need to kill two birds with one stone. Squash this beef over the car and help Reginald. So Brown doesn't want to do it, but then again, she mentions how court fees come into play. It's like, okay, fine, we'll do it. So they they get Reggie to do it, but only on the condition they get a gavel and robe for him. So Brown actually gives him like a choir robe he has in his car. So they make up, the whole courtroom aesthetic in the living room. I think Vinny's the bailiff. You got F.A. right behind Brown, and Leah and Jeremy on the other side. And it's a pretty funny moment. It's just the fact that, they try to compliment Reggie from the robe to how he conducts himself, things like that. But long story short, Brown sold a bad car because he claims I had it tuned up and fixed up, but Cleophas apparently couldn't fix everything that was wrong about the car. So basically, Brown gave a false description of the item in question before it was purchased by the customer. So basically, after taking time to look over the evidence, and the fact that, well, hey, this choir robe, which you said was in the car for quite some time, reeks of smoke, Jeremy is the winner. And after the court case, Anastasia tries to comfort Reggie. It's like, wait, is this how you celebrate? I mean, you had a great, case. You pretty much proved your skills and you were able to kind of get out of your rough spot. But then he says, you know what? It had a opposite effect because of the fact that I worked for decades on end. And then I realized I was slowly losing my memory. And in good conscience, I could not remain, in the courtroom because of the fact that there could come a time where there's a case and I make a bad call because I forgot something. So he slowly eased into retirement. So he didn't just directly retire. He went from the bench and gradually, stepped down. And I love this moment. It was a character moment. And then Anastasia, I really like how she comforted Reggie the same way that she was comforted when she felt like, her age was getting the better of her, that, I don't have it like I used to, and birthdays make me sad because of her ex-husband, I think, who popped out of a cake and died, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, it's good to see that we're getting more character moments of the new characters in season 2, but also the fact that, they don't, just because you're in a retirement home doesn't mean you have to quit. It's not like your death sentence. You're not just going to sit there and wait to die. It's like, you know what? Instead of just sitting around, maybe I can mentor young people of how they can stay out of the system. And that's a great idea. I loved it. So we go over to the last scene where, Brown apologizes to Jeremy, and Jeremy's like, yeah, you know what? I was too desperate for a car, but you shouldn't have played me like that. So that was a good moment to close out the episode. And from there, that's about it. So I think this was a pretty good episode. Philip was mentioned, but neither he or Sandra were in the episode. But I'm okay with that because of the fact that, again, like I said in previous episode reviews in season 2, better to have some characters missing in action as opposed to them being there in the episode when they didn't need to be there. So I think this did a great job of character utilization. Cora wasn't even in the episode, but the episode flowed so well, I didn't even notice. But overall, yeah, 8 out of 10, solid episode. I can't wait to see what's in next week's episode 10 entitled Yellow. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App, or at the very least for free, hit the thumbs up button and hit subscribe.